Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and it is about 9 p.m. on Monday night. It is parent-teacher conference week at the schools I'm working at, so these school days are really long. I want to make a quick apology. I got a couple account reviews that I'm going to put on hold for just a couple more days because I just am getting home so late I don't have time to do them. I sent you guys messages on Discord. I'm going to get to them this week, I promise. Just got to get these conferences over with. Now, that being said, we are getting some good new stuff in War of the Visions this week, and not just the vision card. We're getting an important piece of gear and some master ability 2s for some units. So I do want to make a quick preview video for that stuff. Let's dive into that, and let's start with the new piece of gear, Hope's Scarf, that we're getting in the Trials of Reckoning. This is a very important piece of gear, especially I think if you're a Final Fantasy 13 unit player, or you're somebody who likes to fight Dark. Maybe Dark is a Guild Wars wall that you see all the time. This is a big deal. So first of all, I like this shield variation. 15 defense on an accessory is really nice. 246 HP isn't bad. It's equipable by like everybody. That's a big deal. But the biggest part of this is if you scroll down, we'll come back up to these big boxes up here, but look at this. You get Dark Resistance 10 and Missile Resistance 10. This is an accessory with 10 Dark Resist, 10 Missile Resist, and how much defense? 15? This feels more like a piece of really good armor than it does an accessory. I think this is a big deal. If you have a chance to stack Dark Resist with AoE Resist, maybe mix this with like a Brigandine armor, something like that, I think that's how you like want to build to defeat these dark walls, these dark PvP teams that we're seeing. Now, this is even a better item if you are Lightning, Hope, or Snow. You're going to get 10 Human Killer on it as well. You will also get 25 Blind Resistance, 25 Charm Resistance, and 25 Stop Resist. So a super good piece of gear for those 3 units, but a really good piece of gear otherwise. I'm going to be farming multiple copies of this in the Trials of Reckoning. Once we get our hands on Trials of Reckoning and I've had some time to mess with it, I will put out a guide on what stages I'm farming, in the regular fights, and I'll put out a guide on my boss fighting strategy as well, so look forward to those. But in the meantime, if I would plan on farming this, I think it's a super good accessory. Go get yourself a couple. Now, let's talk about the vision card Esper that's coming out this week. Here's the VC Dark Tetra Sylphid. It is a double cost vision card, right? So here I am hoping we get some like cheap banner for it, like a step up or a 2K paid. I doubt it. I bet you it's just a regular pity. So it becomes, is it worth it? Is this something you want to spend your Visior on? It is a double element vision card, so fire and wind. And for global, something you don't see on here is global is going to get a unit agility buff up here for wind units. I don't know what that number is, but that might be a big deal. First thing I want to talk about here besides that, though, is the stat line. 424 HP, 184 attack, with 2 defense, 40 dex, 4 agility, and 15 luck. Stat-wise, this vision card is stacked. That is a massive stat line worthy of the double cost. The unit buff, attack plus 20% and AoE resist 5. I'm less super excited about this. I do think the attack 20% will be a big deal for your physical DPS units and synergizes nicely with the party buff. I would have liked to have seen this AoE resistance at a little bit more than 5, although stacking AoE resistance is one of the top tier things to do in top-end PvP in this game. There's so much AoE right now, that is the best way to mitigate it. So any you can get is good. We'll have to wait and see what the agility buff for the global upgrade is for wind. Party buff, Human Killer 25, love that for both elements. Missile Resistance 10 is nice on there, and then single target resist 15. It's an insanely good party buff. This is a very strong card. It's just going to be, if you're a fire or wind player, do you have the Visior to potentially drop, 3840k Viz going for a vision card Esper. Now, it does have the benefit of coming with an Esper, so let's check that out. Here's Dark Tetra Sylphid, the Esper. It's 1295 HP, 17 agility, so it's that medium fast. It's not super fast like 1920, but it's like low to medium fast. It does have 109 attack and 80 magic, so honestly either or could use it in a pinch, but definitely scales more towards the attack version there. And then if we look at the skill tree, it is a initial AP, which don't sleep on how important that could be, especially for PvE. Wind attack is going to be good for either your physical or magic users. It has a big accuracy tree on it, kind of like Odin does. It has a pierce attack, so piercing units, 100 cost Glacial that a lot of us just got comes to mind. If you're fighting Earth, it has both Earth Resist right here and Earth Killer right here, so very good against Earth. Then you can also mix in a little bit of Missile Resist if you want that, Undead Killer for PvE, and then there's some crit rate nodes and evocation boost as always. So that's the Esper. I do think it's really good. Is it like game changing, going to change your account? Probably not. If you are a wind player, this is not a dual element Esper. It is a wind element Esper. So fire, yes, you get a little love with the vision card, but fire still, not getting the love on the Esper front. And then of course the global buff was for wind, not fire, because if you're a fire player, you're suffering for those BCs out there. Anyway, now speaking of fire players, we are getting some master ability 2s. First one I want to talk about is Raldor. Here's my thing with Raldor. If you go look on some JP tier lists, they have this dude ranked super, super high. Now, that might be because they're seeing so much ice in JP since Snow and Agrias started coming out. We're starting to see that on Global a lot. You kind of, like Eliza and Velis were the beginning. Snow and Agrias were the pieces that put ice together. Raldor is very effective against those units, and so maybe that's why he's so highly praised. Here's his master ability. Does it bring him up to where that needs to be in Global? Well, let me think about it. His old master ability, he had the HP and fire attack buff and 20 defense pin, which honestly for an old master ability is pretty dang good. Now they are doubling that defense pin to 40. I really like that. He's picking up 15 missile resist and 15 pierce resist. Okay, love that. That's just straight up 15 resist to 2 things he didn't have before. And then, if I'm reading this correctly, when his HP is less than 80%, he will get fire attack 20 and block rate on reaction abilities 40. This is a whole lot going on here. Now, the deal with Raldor is this. Like, he's going to want to be used in like an anti-ice build. If you look at his stat line already, he was very heavy, like anti-pierce, anti-missile. He becomes even more so in that regard. And he's a unit who's going to do a lot of damage. He's a striking unit. You still don't see a lot of strike resistance here. You could give him even more pierce and missile resist here with a bunch of attack. He does have Thief's Knowledge for being faster and being able to, like, scale some of these maps easier. I think Raldor is going to be really good after these buffs. I'm definitely going to be trying him out because I already have all his Mind Spheres. I'm ready to put this guy to 120 and give him some tries. Looking forward to Raldor. Okay, Glassy. And not Classy Glassy or Classiest Glassy. We're talking OG, the original spear waifu herself. Well, one of them. Glacial. So, previously, her master ability was attack plus 20% slash resistance 10. Back in the day, like day 1 of this game, this was a really good master ability. 20% attack, 10% slash resist in a time when, like, there were tons of mono slash teams without penetration, and attack 20 just gave you more damage. This was really good. However, she lacked that elemental group buff. She will now pick that up, which is really nice for both her PvE and PvP teams. She gets a skill upgrade. We'll go check that out here in a minute. Her attack 20% turns into attack 40%, and her slash resist goes from 10 to 30. So she got a lot better at the thing she was good at. The game is a little different now. You can't just get away with being a slash resistance build anymore, but it is still a nice upgrade. Let's go look at the skill that changed, because it's not her master ability, it's actually her single target buff. Now, War Maiden's Wisdom back in the day, pre-EX, was Pierce Attack 25, Defense Pin 50. Wow, that's really good. It got EX upgraded once to also give Protect. Okay, that's also really good. Now it's getting another upgrade, War Maiden's Pride. It is a Pierce Attack 25 buff. Okay, that has stayed the same. Defense Penetration 50. Yep, that's still the same and really good. She is now getting AoE Resistance 20%. Okay, AoE Resist 20. AoE Resist is a big deal in this game. That's awesome. And then Magic Resist 20%. Now, I don't really understand how I'm reading this right here, because it looks to me like they are canning protect, like they're taking the protect off of here and instead giving her 20 AoE resist to 20% magic resist. If that's the trade, it is well worth the trade. I wouldn't have mind seeing protect just stay on there, but maybe it's a translation error, maybe it's a weird thing, I don't know, but I still say this buff right here, War Maiden's Pride, this is one of the better single target buffs in the game. It's super good. Is it good enough to make Glacial a top-end PvP unit? Probably not, but if you like to use her, this will make her very, very usable, and she still can do all of her multi-hit shenanigans right here. She's still got her 100% hit attacks. She can still leap on top of the enemy units and drop them. She'll still do her thing, right? She'll still do her thing. If you like to use her, she just got a lot better. And then Robbie's an MR cost 60 unit, someone who I have seen put in a lot of work in some cost limited highlight matches, got a master ability too. Previously, she had evasion 10, AP consumption down 20, that's terrible. For a tank, that's crap. She is now getting 10% lightning ally buff for her group and 25% berserk resistance. Okay, kind of iffy. The evasion 10 stays the same, AP consumption down 20 stays the same. She is picking up another 20% HP and 10 single target resist. So they are targeting her tankiness specifically with this buff. I really like that. And then what does Robbie's do? Like, why would you build her and want to use her? Well, you would build her if you needed a cost-limited lightning tank who can do some interesting things. One is she does bring initial hate into a fight. Never sleep on that. You can juice up her evasion or her agility right here. You can also give her some more evasion, and she has this really interesting ability to AoE blind targets while buffing her evasion. I have seen a Robbie move into a group of enemies, drop this move, blind a bunch of people, and actually dodge attacks. So an evasion tank is kind of like a weird thing, but her main job paladin kit has Immortal Spirit in it. It has Saintly Wall. It is a stacked main job kit. It's just weird to build an evasion paladin tank that's not Engelbert, who just luckily dodges stuff every once in a while. It's weird. I don't know, but that's Robbie's upgrade. If you want to use her for some of those, like, lightning shenanigan cost reduction teams, there you go. She's better than she used to be. And thank you guys for watching. Like I said, account review people, I am sorry. I told you guys at the beginning of this week, these parent-teacher conferences snuck up on me. I am freaking exhausted. So I'm going to wrap this video up right here. Have a great day, everybody, and I will catch you next time. Peace.